Theater has many different purposes. You want to lift people's spirits, get them to start thinking about a certain topic. And I think if there's any deeper meaning in this play, which maybe there isn't, but is the idea of, how we do interact with one another and the roles that we can take on, and they become many and varied. My name is Laurel Schaffer. I am a costume designer, and I am currently designing the costumes for the show The Mystery of Irma Vep, which is a penny dreadful melodrama that sort of riffs on all the corny cliches of tales of vampires and werewolves and transformations. It is played entirely by 2 actors who go through 42 changes in and out of the various costumes. So it's a real challenge for both the actors and myself as a costume designer. It's a lot of ripping them off and then slapping them back in there. So hand base this in here and then we'll machine it over. Working with students in the costume shop in this college setting is really interesting. Not very many people know how to sew. It really is a lost art form. It's also really a frustrating craft to learn. The machines can be very intimidating. Things break, you stick yourself, your hands get cut to ribbons. But it's really satisfying once somebody learns the ideas and how all these things get put together, and what you can do as a seamstress and what you can create is limitless. It's a little different because it is so campy. Camp in itself, it's just outrageous and fun and funny and usually colorful and flashy. So I've tried to capture a lot of those elements in the costumes for Irma Vep. They are certainly flashy, they are certainly outsized. There's nothing subtle in this show at all. It's sort of set in a pseudo-Victorian time period, so I looked into a lot of bustle dresses and that shape of femininity being really outsized and constructed. So it's really taking this idea of what would be sort of your traditional characters and blowing them up to these outrageous proportions. And putting them on a 6'2" man is really pretty funny too. What's interesting is their height difference. Austin is short and compact, and Kieran is tall and lanky. So those physical differences immediately set up this very funny concept that they could play with. Some of the innovations that I made for this show because of the quick changes, my favorite actually is I put a seatbelt into the big ball gown because it was so heavy. There was no other way to keep it on the actor in such a way that he could get in and out of it really quickly. Quick rigging things is always really interesting, where you add elements of a costume to looks like something is dressed underneath, but is actually there's not. So on one of Lord Edgar's costumes, we added cuffs to the jacket and a collar to the jacket, but there's no actual shirt within the jacket. But it only takes him 5 seconds to pull the jacket on, Velcro it shut, and he's done. So that's another fun element of the magic of theater that, not to give too much away, but it is fun to work with ideas like that. It is so satisfying to see something that started out in your head as this sort of nebulous idea come to life on a person and behave the way you wanted it to behave. So that is something that brings me great joy as a designer, is to get to share those things with other people and then see how they kind of take them and run with them in their own fashion.